Hey, if you've got questions about is it better to live in Fort Myers or in Cape Coral, and what's the cost of living difference between the two, stay tuned because I'm going to talk about those things as well as lots of other questions you might have. Welcome back to my channel. I'm Sherry Puchacz, better known as Sunshine Sherry, and I work for RE/MAX Realty Team right here in beautiful Cape Coral, Florida. If you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing by clicking that little red bell because you don't want to miss any of the cool videos that I'm doing about my little slice of paradise. Let's get going on what we're talking about today, and that is the differences between living in Cape Coral and Fort Myers. Now, they're right across the bridge from each other. The Caloosahatchee River is the dividing line between the two cities. So I get lots of questions about which one is better. Well, full disclosure, I live in Cape Coral, so I kind of prefer Cape Coral over Fort Myers, but I love going to Fort Myers because it offers a whole different realm of things to do. Now, some facts and figures. I made up this little chart so that you can kind of keep track of what I'm saying and you don't have to take a bunch of notes. So last year, the average cost of a home here in Cape Coral was about $327,000. In Fort Myers, it's a little bit higher, $379,000. So about a $50,000 swing in the cost of a single family home. Moving on to rents, if you are going to rent here instead of buy, again, Fort Myers is a little bit higher at around $2,000 a month for an apartment, 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom usually, and Cape Coral is about $1,800. So again, Fort Myers a little bit higher. As far as like the price of gas, well, they're within pennies of each other, depending on which station you like to go to. If you're that person that likes to drive around and find the cheapest gas on any given day, go for it. Electric bills, Cape Coral and Fort Myers are serviced by two different electric companies. Cape Coral is serviced by Lee County Electric Co-op, better known as LCEC, and Fort Myers is serviced by Florida Power and Light, or FPL. Fort Myers is the winner on this one as much as it's a little bit lower. It's a little bit lower by what, $5-6, $97 a month. And Cape Coral hangs around $105. Now, most of that depends on whether you crank your air conditioner down to 68 degrees, or during the day, maybe you leave it at 78, and when you're home or on the weekends, put it down to 74. It's a pretty reasonable temperature, and it takes the humidity out of the air, so you'll be more than comfortable. The population is different too in Cape Coral and in Fort Myers. Fort Myers has about 75,000 people. Cape Coral is much larger at 175,000 people. Cape Coral is actually thought of as a suburb of Fort Myers, even though geographically, Fort Myers is quite a bit smaller. It's about 40 square miles, and Cape Coral is the second largest geographical city in Florida at about 102 square miles. So even though it's much larger in population and in size, Cape Coral usually is thought of as a suburb of Fort Myers. Talking about the population, most people probably will be surprised by the fact that the median age in Fort Myers is about 39. The median age in Cape Coral is about 45. I bet you thought there were only old people down here. Well, not so. The young folks are coming here in droves. Who wouldn't? It's paradise here. So as we're talking about population, I also get questions about, is it safe to live in Fort Myers versus Cape Coral? Well, the answer is yes, folks. As you can see by the chart, the statistics that are kept on crime go on a scale of 1 to 100. And both cities rank pretty low in crimes. As you can see on the chart, the average for property crime in the United States is at 36. And both Fort Myers and Cape Coral are lower than that. Property crime in Cape Coral is at 28, and in Fort Myers, 25. Violent crimes, so crimes against people, also pretty low on the scale. The US is on that scale 23, and Cape Coral is at 10, and Fort Myers is a 19. Maybe because, as you can see by the chart, the population is a little more dense in Fort Myers than it is in Cape Coral. One of the big differences, to me anyway, is the downtown area. The downtown area in Fort Myers has been around for a lot longer, just like Fort Myers. Fort Myers was established in 1885. Cape Coral was established in 1957. So that's about 135 years for Fort Myers and only about 63 years for Cape Coral. So Cape Coral is about half as old as Fort Myers. And so back in 1885, the downtown area was evidently much more important, and that's why it looks different, it feels different. The downtown area of Fort Myers actually has cobblestone roads, and it seems a lot more friendly for walking. There are quite a few more restaurants, bars, coffee shops, and just shops in general in downtown Fort Myers. As you can see, 30 plus restaurants in Fort Myers, where Cape Coral is at 20 plus. Now, Cape Coral, you can do some walking also, but it's a little more stretched out and not, kind of compacted in a little district, if you will. Another difference between Fort Myers and Cape Coral could be thought of as the cultural difference. Fort Myers has at least 3 playhouses or theaters. My total favorite is the Royal Palm Dinner Theater, and it is a dinner theater. It's very cool. You go there about 2 hours before the actual play starts. If you want to have dinner, you can have drinks. There are small tables, there are bigger tables, so you can have a party of, I think, 4 or 6 very comfortably at the Royal Palm Theater. Dinner is usually served in cafeteria style, but they will also bring meals that you order to your table, and the drinks are awesome. The plays are very cool too. They're very talented theater troupes that put these on. I've been to at least a dozen plays there, and every single one of them has never disappointed me. It's a pretty awesome night out with your friends. Fort Myers also has the Barbara B. Mann Playhouse, and that is also a great place to see a play. I have also been to the Florida Repertory Theater, which is right in downtown Fort Myers. It is not a dinner theater, but they do serve drinks, and the plays are awesome. Cape Coral does have one theater or playhouse, and that's the Cultural Park Theater. It's a much smaller venue, but let me tell you, the acting troupes that go there are just as talented. Next up would be the historical landmarks. Well, being created in 1885, guess who wins on that one? Well, it's Fort Myers, of course. They have the Edison Ford Winter Estates. Don't miss going there. Don't miss going on the tours. It's a beautiful campus. It's right on the Caloosahatchee River. The houses that are there that belong to Thomas Edison. Now that guy got in right at the beginning. He moved here or used it as his winter estates in 1885, and he hung around till 1931. So I'm thinking he really liked the place. He also did a lot of his inventing here. So the campus, as I said, is pretty large, and the houses that are there, the buildings that are there, the gardens that are there are beautiful. Don't miss that. There's also the Burroughs House, and that is kind of this turn of the century Georgian-like mansion that was built in 1901. And a lot of the socially elite folks went there for parties back in the turn of the century. It has been restored. It is beautiful. The gardens are beautiful. So don't miss that one either. Another place in Fort Myers is the River District. That is a very cool place to walk around. There is a steamboat that you can go out on also that offers dinner. I've been to a corporate party there, and it's a very cool ride. You go down the river, you come back, you see the sunset. It's awesome. But the River District in general has a lot of places to walk, plenty of places to sit down, and you can look at all the big, huge yachts that dock in the Fort Myers Marina down there. So that's another one to put on your list. I hope I've answered most of the questions that you have about what the differences are in living in Cape Coral and living in Fort Myers. I do have some other videos that you might be interested in watching. One of them is the pros and cons about living in Cape Coral. And the other one is, what part of Cape Coral should I live in? Please give me a call if you have other questions, or put them in the comments below, or send me a text, or send me an email. I would love to have a chat with you about what it's like moving down here. I'm Sunshine Sherry, and I am always here to help, and I can't wait to work with you.